Hello and welcome to another candle spell, this time chosen by me, and it's going to be one for healing. So all of these in this little series are based on ideas from Rachel's Practical Candle Magic book. The very first one in this little series went through the basic template, and then the last one that I did was that with a little bit of variation, and this one is going to be that with more variation. So why healing? Because we all need it. Sometimes we want to do it for ourselves, sometimes we want to do it for somebody else. I will say at this point, if you are doing it for somebody else, make sure that they want it. We're not trying to force our thoughts, our energies onto anybody. However, if you feel that somebody could benefit from healing and they are unavailable for whatever reason for you to be able to ask, you can still do a healing spell for them, but I would add the caveat onto the spell that if when that energy reaches them, they don't want it, the higher power doesn't want it, their higher energy, whatever you want to do, does not want it, then the universe will use the energy that you've sent for the highest good. So it's not going to go to waste. The universe will use it, but you're not actually forcing your will onto anybody else. Most of the time you will be able to ascertain whether somebody wants this done or not. So yeah, if they do, fine. If they don't, then obviously you're not going to do it. And if you're doing it for yourself, there's no problem. But yeah, I would double check before you just go ahead and do it. Having said that, why? Why would you do this? Because we all need healing at different times for different reasons, whether it's emotional, physical, just energetically feeling at a low slump. So yeah, healing. What are you going to need? There is going to be a blog to go along with this, as usual, with the full list of things. So I will just go through a few bits and pieces as we are doing this, but yeah, the full list of everything will be in the blog. So obviously you're going to need a candle. It can be a tea light. It can be a pillar candle. Say you wanted to do it over several days, then you could mark a pillar candle off in 7 days, 9 days, 13 days increments if you wanted to do it over a few days. Or you can do like I've done and chosen a blue spell candle. This is a pale blue one. Can get them darker than this, but this was the one that leapt out. So you could use tea light, you could use a pillar candle. You can get little beeswax spell candles as well, so you could use that. They actually unwind, so if you warm them in your hands and then you can unwind them and then you can put some of the herbs inside if you want to. So yes, first thing you're going to need is your candle, because it's a candle spell. If you are going to anoint your candle, then plain olive oil is what I would go to. You could make an infused oil with any of the herbs that go along with this. So as far as herbs are concerned, you've got yarrow, very healing. You've got bay, you've got fennel, you've got mugwort, which is one of the ones I'm going to be using, rose, which is another one I'm going to be using, but you've got rosemary, you've got thyme, ginger, and there are others. And ones that mean healing or health to you. Just because I'm giving you these, none of these might mean anything to you. You might want to use something else. Or whatever you've got in your cupboard. When you open your cupboard door and you say that you want to do this spell, what immediately leaps out at you? If you're going to use a rune, either to inscribe onto your candle or onto the paper, then Uruz comes to mind for me. There's probably more. Again, it'll be in the blog. If you just wanted to use a symbol, then you could just use a heart or a circle or a spiral. For Ogham, you've got Lus, you've got Sal, you've got Dua, and you've got Nyetel. Nyetel is the one that I'm going to be using today. If you are going to be writing a petition, then you could use either blue or green ink or blue or green paper. In which case, if you're using the coloured paper, I would write in black ink. But if you're using white like I am, then either a green or a blue pen. You could also, instead of using a plain piece of paper, you could try using an old prescription. If it's for you and you've got one of your old prescriptions, the bit that comes with it, repeat prescription side. Or those, yeah, they do come plain as well, don't they? If you haven't got a repeat order. So yeah, the bit of the prescription that you get when you get medicines from the pharmacy, you could use that. Or you could write the petition on the photo. So if you've got a photo of yourself or a photo of the person. So yeah, there's all sorts of variations. If you wanted to use lunar and solar phases, then they would be the waxing to full for healing, or waning to dispel. So that's the moon. Sun is exactly the same. It'd be sunrise to midday to bring in good health, afternoon to sunset to dispel it. If you're going to use tarot, then you have strength, the magician, the sun, and the star, and there are probably others that, again, will be on the blog. Oracle cards, if you prefer to use oracle cards, then one that resonates with you, because each deck will have, and just because it says healing or health on it, that might not be the one that leaps out at you when you're doing your spell. So go with what goes with you. If you want to use crystals, then you've got agate, you've got amber, you've got fluorite, which is what I'm using today. Labradorite, I would think. Malachite is good for healing. Quartz, rose quartz. Selenite. Yeah, again, there's going to be others that will be in the blog. If you can, if it's for you, it's going to be relatively easy because you're going to be able to, you've got the medication there. But if you are on a medication, then you could have a bottle or a packet of that medication included into your spell work. Or a bottle of vitamin pills. If it's for somebody else, and they haven't got any empty bottles that they can give you or empty packets they can give you, then pick a herbal remedy that is linked to whatever, or is linked to healing, like echinacea. It's one that comes to mind, or just vitamin C. Yeah. So I think I've waffled on enough. We will do the swap over and we will start. So I have today got a blue cover to work on because, like I said, blue is one of the colours linked with healing. I've got my blue candle, and I have got, and as you know from the previous ones, I don't like spreading herbs all over, even though this is on a cover and could quite easily be picked up and shaken out. One of the variations that I'm doing for this spell is that at the end of this, all the ingredients will be going into a blue pouch. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you that there are variations on the theme. So that's why I am using a container with my candle holder safely inside it. And as I said, I am going to be using Nyetel, which is that Ogham there, And I just drew this out, as you can see, and I'm going to place that in the middle, just there. I am then going to get a piece of paper and a blue pen, and I am going to write, while I'm leaning on the nettle, for health and healing. And then I am again going to write nettle on there. You probably can't see that with the light, but for health and healing with nettle inscribed. I'm then going to fold this towards me. Like that. And again, make sure that it's as flat as I can get it, because it is going to go under my candle holder there. And my candle holder is going to go on top of my natal card. Onto my candle. And again, as you know, I have tattoos from the lovely Susie Goose. So I use one of my tattoo needles, and on here I am going to scribe Nieto. 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 Like that. And I'm going to pop it in here for health and healing. And then I'm just going to hold my hands there, drawing energy down from above, up from the earth, and sending it into the candle for health and for healing. As before, if you like making up chants and are good at making up chants, perfect. I just like to keep things simple and direct energy and just say a few words like that. When you feel ready, you can start to arrange things. So I've chosen 2 cards today. I have chosen Strength, which is going to go that side. That's the side it feels as though it needs to go. And from Rachel's Flower Oracle, Dianthus, which actually is for healing, but it was the colour that popped out when I pulled it out. And as I said, I'm today using fluorite. So I'm using 2 pieces of fluorite. This I picked up very cheaply a long time ago at Charmouth, which is a beach in the UK, southern UK, next to Lyme Regis. And there, I don't even know if it's still there. I haven't been there for several years now, but there used to be a boathouse, and in underneath the boathouse there was a man that sold crystals, and fossils, mostly ones found on the beach, but some imported. But most of the rocks and crystals were rough. But he did have a whole rack of these crystal chip beads. So I really can't remember. I know it was really cheap, but they come in very handy. They are very heavy, which is why I don't wear them very often. But when you are doing something like this, they come in very handy because you can actually arrange them into a heart shape over your spell work, like that. And then this beautiful piece, my husband got for me. Again, a long time ago. It is meant to be palm stone. It has been dropped. You can see there's a chip on the end there. It's been loved and used and cherished. So yes, that one is going to go there. That feels right. And then we come to the herbs. So I am using rose petals for health, for healing, love and support that is needed at this time. And again, for healing, for health and love and support. And yes, I am picking up some of the bigger pieces. Some of the other pieces have fallen, but yeah. And mugwort. I do love mugwort. Oh, yeah. So again, for healing and love, health and happiness. You don't need masses. I am just going to clear that a little bit away from the base so that as the candle burns down, it doesn't actually set everything alight. And I think, so again, you can see I'm just holding my hands here. I'm just sending the energy from above and below into this. For healing, for health. Yep. And time to, I light this candle for health and healing. Just going to channel a bit more energy now the candle's lit. It is done. So there we have it. I'll put it onto that one so that you can see that it is still there in front of me. You can see the so I've got to be careful now because you know me and my hands. Yeah, I don't want to set myself on fire. So yeah, that's my variation on this, just to give you an idea of what you can do. I'm now going to leave this to burn down. Being one of these spell candles, it'll take about 30 to 40 minutes. Once it's down, these ones don't tend to leave an awful lot of stub, but if there is any, that and the herbs and possibly the fluorite palm stone are going to go into this blue bag to be carried around until I feel that it's done, and then this will get cleansed to be used again. The other things, once this is in here, the cards and the fluorite necklace and the nyettle will get cleansed to use again. But yeah, and the little petition that I did, that'll go in the bag as well. But as I said, you could do this over a longer period with a pillar candle. So you could do it 7, 9 or 13 days, I think would be ideal. You could do it for longer, you could do it for 21. But that's up to you. How long you feel that you can actually keep this up. Because you would need to carry on feeding, so you'd need to put more herbs in each day, as well as lighting the candle. Having said use a pillar candle, you could actually, if you were going to do this for 7 days and you had 7 spell candles, then you could, and you don't have to do them all the same color. You could use pink, as I said, you could use white, you could use green. So you could do a different one each day. I'm just thinking out loud now. So I will stop waffling. I hope this is of use. I look forward to seeing your comments. If you want me to do a variation for you, for a spell, please let me know. Otherwise, I will be back with another one that I decide to do at some stage over the next little while. But yeah, look forward to seeing your comments. And I hope everyone stays